Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDV, or you can call me Chris, and today we're going to do a head shave with Stirling. You probably can't see that very well. This is Deep Blue Sea, and of course this is a sample. Stirling has the best samples in the business as far as I'm concerned. I just cut off a little bit, and then generally, as I've been talking about in my head shaves, I keep the rest of this sample to send to another shaver sometime when I send a package or something. So it's nice to spread the love. The scent on this is beautiful. It is inspired by Bleu de Chanel, which is a wonderful cologne scent. Sort of aqua to my nose. Really beautiful scent strength. About 6, I would call it, off the sample here. Really, really nice. And these samples are $3.50 for 1 ounce. It's a really good way to try soap that you're not sure about. It's a little more expensive than their general price per ounce. If I were to have this in a tub, it's $13.60 for 5.8 ounces, which is an excellent $2.34 an ounce. On the cost chart there, that is just an absolutely terrific price. Stirling is known for their commitment to value. But these samples, if you're not sure and you don't want to spend the $13.60, you can get one of these, and I guarantee you're going to get a good amount of shaves out of them. I don't know how many, because I've never used one of these all the way up. I always send them to other people. You know, I try it, and then I find out whether I want to buy the soap or not. And in this one, I'm going to want to buy it because it's a really beautiful scent. So we'll set that aside. We're going to be using the Leaf razor, which is at this point about the only razor I use for head shave. I'm going to be using the Razor Rock Lime Cube pre-shave here, just trying to wear this baby down. I've been using it quite a bit, and boy, these pre-shave cubes, they last a long time. But I think they're nice just to, you know, if nothing else, they will boost your lather a little bit. I like to take some water, as I've been mentioning, and sort of bring that up a little bit just to a semi-lather, just so there's not some thick soap stuck all over my head that clogs up the razor. That's what I found is the best way to use these. The only drawback for doing this is it makes your hands very slick. And even when you try to rinse them off, they remain sometimes slick. That's the only downside for me. We're using today the West Coast Shaving, I forgot what this brush was called, Honeycomb. Beautiful brush. I like West Coast Shaving's synthetic offerings, and they really have a lot of value offerings now, especially in synthetic brushes, some of their razor heads, and so on. West Coast Shaving has been making a lot of improvements over the last few years. It is a vastly different company from what it once was, say 5-6 years ago. Completely different now. They have a lot of everything. They offer sales a lot, which is great, because you all know we spend enough money, you know, in this hobby. They have brush sales, razor sales, aftershave sales. They've been doing a lot of exclusives with soap makers, which I like as well. Let's just add a little bit of water here. I'm just gonna sort of paint that back a little bit. On head shaves, I just want to get a fair amount of lather and protection on my head. I don't really care what it looks like. I just dump my brush in the water there, but that's okay. It's no problem. The main thing is with the leaf here is keeping it dry, because it gets slippery if it gets wet. And the blades in here are Persona Red, and I'm using this for a 4th head shave. I normally don't, but I just wanted to see how it would feel if I do. And so if it gets rough, we'll just switch it out. You know, it's no big deal. There is absolutely nothing wrong with switching products if they're bothering you in the middle of a shave. Don't feel the need to push it, especially if you're getting something that's really irritating your face. One time I had a soap, and I remember the soap, it was Razor Rock P160. And it must have a high concentration of almond oil, I guess. And that thing set my face aflame when I put it on. My face was blood red. I had to take it off right away. And so if you're feeling discomfort during your shave, that is your face or your head, if you're a head shaver like me, talking to you. And you're best served if you acknowledge what it's telling you. Because if you don't, it leads to trouble. So when your face or your head talks, listen. That is my that's my advice, and I will always give that advice. You really don't get any bonus points for pushing a bad shave. It's just not worth it. You know, because then maybe you can't shave the next day if you're a daily shaver, whether it's your face or head. And one of the things I wanted to mention again in this head shaving video is a lot of people who watch the face shaves don't watch the head shaves. And some folks only watch the head shaves. They're head shavers. And so I try to do a few of these head shaves every week because there are people who want them. But if you don't like the head shaves, you know, you can certainly skip them, and you can certainly skip any video, you know, you don't want to watch. As I sort of mentioned in my last video, I make a lot and I enjoy making them, and I'm going to continue making them. But I completely understand that it is a lot for people to keep up with. Nobody knows that better than me because I'm making them. So it takes me a lot of time, so I know it takes you a lot of time to watch them. So if you do watch, I really appreciate it. Drop some water there in my eye, that's no good. But if you don't have time to watch, you know, I understand that as well. Or if you pick and choose ones that interest you, like maybe it's a product driven, you know, like, hey, he's using a soap I want to use or something like that, you know. It's always optional. But I appreciate the time you spend. I always have. And that remains the case here on the channel. I appreciate time. I always say that's time you can't get back. So thank you very much. Those of you who are watching, I wanted to mention again today the Chalmers family. And I apologize if I'm not saying that right. You have Abby. You have Samantha. You have DC Shaves. You have John Shaves 101, and you have Elijah, who made a lather on video, which is very cool. Nice job, Elijah. Don't worry, keep practicing, and that lather will come along. So just tell your dad or Abby, your mom, that I want to practice lathering, you know, just as long as you don't irritate your face. But one of the things I would tell you, Elijah, is you can take your brush and use your hand, and you can practice making a lather in your hand. If your face maybe can't handle a lot of lather practice, do it on your hand. There's absolutely no problem doing that. So you can practice that way. You can also practice in a bowl. So have your dad or mom get you a bowl, and they can put a little soap in it, and you can practice making a bowl lather, which is cool also. I'm having a lot of water drip down in my in my eyes today, but no problem. We'll deal with that. I don't have hair all the way down to there, but wherever there's lather, I shave. That's just all there is to it. If there's lather there, I shave it. It's just a habit. All right, nice. First pass. The Stirling Deep Blue Sea is beautiful, and I must tell you, everybody raves about Stirling. And there are many, 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 many reasons for that. Commitment to value, great people, great customer service, great products, but something that I haven't touched on a lot is Stirling sells their products in many, many different formats, body washes, EDTs, colognes, and now they have hand sanitizer, I think. They have body washes, bar soaps. The other thing is they sell the pucks only. They sell samples like this. They sell, just jars if you just happen to need a plastic jar. Or they sell refills if you just happen to need a refill for if you already have a plastic jar, so you don't want to use another piece of plastic. They offer a wide array of options, and I like that. So for the artisans who are concerned about plastic, I would say do it like Stirling and give people a choice. So that way they don't have to order a plastic tub if they don't want to, because they can just order the puck, or they can order a sample, or they can do whatever they want. But it gives them a choice. Or they can reuse their old soap containers. Stirling used to even send, like if you wanted a sticker to put on your own container, they probably still have that. I mean, They offer everything. They have a full range of products in most of their scents. And that doesn't get talked about much. Primarily what gets talked about is the fact that they have great customer service and they're wonderful people and their soap is a really good value. That gets talked about a lot. But the vast array of options that they offer and choices doesn't get talked about a lot. And for me, I love options. And I love options in everything, whether it be television programming, sporting events, shaving channels, shaving videos. The more options that I have, the better. I always say, because I can find what I want to use and take advantage of it. So Stirling offers just tremendous options. And there are other companies who do that as well, but Stirling is one of the more full-featured. I mean, if you just want a tub, they'll sell you a tub. If you just want it, it gets very granular, and a lot of people don't do that because they want to fool with it. But Stirling, you can pretty much get anything. And I personally find that to be a terrific value. And yeah, it's a pain. Somebody maybe just wants to order a plastic tub, or, maybe just a few samples, but they offer it. And not every artisan does. And so I really appreciate the artisans out there who really go out of their way to offer options that makes it easy for us. Because sometimes we don't want to pull the trigger. Look, when you're buying a lot of soaps, you don't want to pull the trigger on every soap that comes out. Maybe you want to sample to see if you like it first. And in the case of this one, that's why I got this one. Because I didn't know whether I would like it or not. I've never experienced that fragrance, the Bleu de Chanel. But it is quite lovely. And so now the next time I order from Stirling, I will put that one in. That will be one I will buy. And so, for $3, I've at least learned that I like it. And also, for me, it gives me the ability to send the rest of this puck to either, I could either cut it up a couple of times and send it to a couple of different people, or just send it to one person and they can use it up. And you can get probably a good between 15 and 30 shades out of that, I would estimate. So, I mean, that's pretty good. And again, it allows me to figure out whether I like it, which I think is a tremendous service. So I do, because I really dislike buying a soap and just feeling absolutely disappointed with the scent. So also a lot of times they'll send a sample of a bath bar, with your order, just to let you try things. And a lot of artisans do that. That's a very good thing too. Every artisan who puts samples in their packages, big thumbs up to you. I thank you for that. It helps us figure out whether or not we like that scent. And so it keeps us from buying blind. Because as you know, if you're a hobbyist, you're probably spending quite a bit. And when you buy a fairly expensive soap and you get burned, you're like, rats, Now, sometimes you can resell it on the secondary market or give it away, and that's great. But I would be happy if I bought something I like to start with, I can tell that this blade has ran its course, or this set of blades, because there's 3 blades in there. I would say that the maximum shaves with these Persona Reds and the leaf for head shaving, or at least for my head, is 4 shaves. Because they're at the end of the run, and I can feel it. Like, it's not rough, but I can just tell that they've done about all they can do. You can just tell they're not super sharp and crisp the way they were to begin with. So I'm just touching up here and wrapping up this head shave. By the way, go check out Stirling. Highly recommended. One of my favorite vendors, some of my favorite people in the wet shaving community. I'm going to put a little lather in this hand and just sort of feel around This is a good technique that you've seen multiple people do over the years. I think I first saw it with maybe Nick shaves, where you grab that leftover soap and you feel around. And as you feel around, the soap kind of helps you feel any places that you missed a little easier. And of course, you're applying that cream there, so when you do, or soap, when you do find a spot, you know, you just put your hand on it and you've got some protection there. So that's awesome. It's a good technique. Try it at the end of your shave when you're doing pickups. This is a preferable method than just keeping going over the same area without any protection. A lot of us can get away with that, but if you're new, I recommend you do this. You know, get some lather in your hand and just feel around, whether it be on your head or your face, and you feel a spot like right there, then you get it. Works very well. All right, let me rinse. We'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. All right, and we're back with our Lancaster Razorworks towel, which is terrific. And I know they sold out quickly, folks, this past Saturday, but have no fear. He will be making more. And I expect these will be selling out because it's like I mentioned in my last video, it's no longer a secret. It was a bit of a secret before. Some people had them, but it wasn't widely known. Now it is. So you can expect the next few batches to sell out quickly, but at some point it will slow down. So let's go with some Humphreys on the dome here. By the way, the Leaf is a terrific head shaver for me. Very, very nice. Does a great job. 4 shaves with the Persona Red is the extent of that blade for me in the Leaf. 4 head shaves, but it did a great job as always. The Leaf is a really nice head shaving razor. It feels like a cart, but it's not. You have to be more careful with it than you would a cart, but that pivot really helps head shaving in my opinion. Okay, a quick overview of what we used. We used the Stirling Deep Blue Sea. Terrific soap, terrific scent. I will buy this in a full tub next time I get something from Stirling. We used the West Coast Shaving Honeycomb brush, which is really, really nice. Of course, it's the Leaf. And we're going to finish off with some Stirling Blue, which is a similar scent to the Deep Blue Sea. Not exact, but it's nice. And the Stirling aftershaves are really well priced. In case I didn't mention that, really terrific aftershaves, well priced. I've used quite a bit of this one. If you can see, it's about halfway gone. I really like aqua or blue type scents. And that, folks, is a wrap. I want to thank everybody for joining me for this head shave. Until next time, I'm reminding you that I'm CDB and it's your shave. Do it your way, and God bless.